Back for second half highlights here on Buckeye Football Weekly. Ohio State leading Cincinnati 13-7. And as we come back to second half action, probably the rhythm and the success of the offense thrown off a little bit by what Cincinnati is doing in this, but still a little unnerving. You want to get that back on track there into some kind of downhill mode on the field.
You really do, and they did. They came up with a good plan, and we knew we were getting the ball to start the second half, and we wanted to make sure that we went and at least took control of the field position of the game and got a little rhythm going of our own. And I thought our kids came out with the right mentality, but we knew it was going to be tough because they were flying after the ball, and you knew Mark would have a good plan.
Ready for a Hall of Fame second half of action, and it's Hall of Fame weekend, so you see some names like Eddie George out there with his family and Teddy the Tree Provost out there.
Yep. Ted came up with the big plays in that 68 season that got us the national championship, and we had a number of men and women enter the Hall of Fame, and what a great day for them. And here we come out and throw a little crossing route, and they were playing a lot of man coverage, and we wanted to do some things to get some men freed up, and it worked out pretty well the entire second half. Look at the amount of time we have here. Troy did a good job of keeping his eyes down the field and finds Brian Rubisky for a good first down.
Yeah, and good young receiver there. We've seen some pretty solid play out of him, and Brian Hartline gets back into the action in this game as well.
Here you see a little bit of the option, and again, based upon what they were doing, we felt that the option would be something that would benefit us, and you have to get a flow for what's happening, and then a little bit of draw, and Antonio Pittman hit it out the back door, and all of a sudden you get a solid play there. So we're getting a little bit of rhythm as we go. Here we hit the option out again, and there goes Antonio. We get some good perimeter blocking, and we have a chance here to move the football.
Well, 13 right, 8 left, 11 again on the pitch. Now you go up top again, 13 yards picked up, and Gonzo's in the middle.
Well, Anthony can handle himself in there, and he reads the coverage, and this was a great job. Quite honestly, on this play, this is the one I'm thinking of. That's not the play we called. Between Anthony Gonzalez, Teddy Ginn, and Troy, they switched up what they were doing on that play. They kept the same protection, but they got themselves a touchdown.
You always say they can change the play as long as it's successful.
That's right.
Otherwise,
every time.
Yeah. This play successful again. And a lot of these 1st and 10 plays I noticed from the Cincinnati drives were big hitters out to midfield.
Yeah. Misdirection plays. They did a nice job. They had some good thoughts in what they did against us. And then when it came into the base plays where they had to flat out protect the passer straight up, they weren't going to be able to do it. Quinn Pitcock and David Patterson and that crew were a little bit too much for him.
Yeah, loss of 9 on the play, and then you got to try to stretch this defense deep at some point. Nobody's really been able to do that, and Texas wasn't able to do it, and this is why.
Well, good job. I think that one was Malcolm Jenkins, wasn't it, on the pick? And that was awesome to see him jump up, and if we can get those takeaways, we're going to have a chance.
Well, 3 of them on this particular day, and all coming via the interception. Again, the tight end dragging.
Good job by Rory Nickel. Troy threw it in there with some misdirection. Then we come back straight at it with just a old-fashioned off-tackle play. And now we looked like we had some pep in our step at that point in time. We looked a little bit faster there than we did the entire first half.
Well, Antonio Pittman also gets out there and really hurts that defense with some great speed. I mean, I don't think anybody knows how fast he is.
He does a good job out there, and we made a nice pick there on not a very good celebration there because we ended up getting a penalty, and this was a heck of a play by Justin Zwick. He got a full blitz. They brought everybody, and he knew he had man-to-man coverage, and Ray Small got his guy turned around, and Justin threw it right in there. And again, Justin's under duress because, they were full blitzing, and we were doing some things that would give us a chance against that many people coming, and Brian Hartline made a play.
And this, another example late in this game, as we saw, you got Anderson Russell there, you got Brian Hartline making a play, you got Ray Small making a play. Maurice Wells, 1st and goal from the 9, he's going to the house.
Well, that was a heck of a cut. He really made a nice cut. We got some movement off the line of scrimmage, and it was good to see.
Beanie Wells getting into the act, a good power run here, pickup of 8 yards as well.
Well, again, we've said all along, if we can have 3 backs, continue to keep getting better, we'll have a chance to be good on offense. And heck of a catch by Roy Hall. Good to see him back. He's probably 90% healthy. And then to see a field goal, 52 yards by Ryan Pretorius. He hit it right down the middle, and then he kicked it off deep into the end zone. And so, again, if we can have depth at every position, we have a chance.
How was that with Mark D'Antonio at the end of the game?
Well, it's tough because I want badly for Mark D'Antonio to win. He's doing his program the right way. I just told him to stay with his plan because his plan will work, and he's got quality kids, and he's got a great coaching staff, and I just hate playing against him.
His plan will get some teams on their heels, no question about it, down the road. But
they come after you, and they never quit.
Yeah, a great win for Ohio State, 37-7, a nice step. And watching the progression within the 4 quarters, you saw some learning going on.
That was the best thing, is that first quarter was okay or less.
And -2 or
yeah,
2 yards rushing.
Right, and the second and third quarters were pretty good and got better as we went. And then fourth quarter, we got to play a lot of guys.
Yeah.
So there was some good things with today, but, you know, Penn State's coming.
Yeah, far cry after the 2 yards rushing in the first half to what you ended up with rushing and what you held them rushing. Negative yards for them rushing. Did you come in to try to reestablish the run, Pittman and everybody else, because of the lack last week?
Well, not really, because you can't do that. You have to find out how they're going to line up. You know, you can't put the round peg in the square hole, and so you have to spar a little bit. And you know, unfortunately, when we were sparring, they scored, and all of a sudden we're behind. And we had made some mistakes, had a couple penalties that stopped drives. Once we got a little handle on what they were doing, the run, of course, has to be a big part of it. But if they're going to let us throw it, why not get big chunks throwing it?
I hear you, Coach. We've got a good fit coming up next. David Patterson in our Buckeye Profile segment.